Welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to look back through 2022 month by month, from starting with January right through to December, and this also includes trips to France in the summer to Gigantica Lake. After getting back into fishing probably about 3-4 years ago, having neglected the sport since I was about 18-19 years old, I wanted to take the guesswork out of my angling. I was one of those anglers that just went to any lake, fished any sort of baits, and probably the wrong rigs for the situation or scenario that I found myself in. So I decided in December 2021 I would get the Farnham Angling Society ticket, which is where I am now, so fast for short, and target only one complex, that being Stillwater Front and Back Lake, located in Ashvale near Frimley Pits. The stock in this lake is relatively unknown, but rumour has it that there is some 30s in here. I knew this was a good starting point just to cement my decision. The lakes are beautiful, as you've probably seen in some of my videos. The lakes are unbelievable. They've got a little something for everybody, whether that's fishing snags like I am today around to my left, margin spots, open water, lily pads, you name it, this lake's probably got it. Now that I had that permanent dwelling as far as the lake goes, then I decided to stick with one bait company for the whole year, and for this I chose CC Moore, and I used their live system and Pacific tuna baits, mixing them up from live system in the winter times through to a mix, and then finishing off with the Pacific tuna in the end of the year. It seems to work quite well. Just those two decisions streamlined my angling and allowed me to get to know the lake and bite times and the hot spots on that lake as well. And also this kind of like built confidence in everything I was doing, and as you're aware, having confidence in your approach and your tactics is absolutely key. The final decision was to stick to just 2 rigs for the whole year, those being an Illusion D. Again, if you watch my channel, you know that I love an Illusion D rig, and the Ronnie rig. So essentially that meant I had a rig to present a bottom bait and a rig to present a top. Either can do rafters as well, which is a good in-between method. So not only did all my decisions streamline my fishing, but it made it more cost effective and I was more efficient. So the reason it was being cost effective is I wasn't going out trying new rigs, new baits. I knew one bait that I needed and used, so I could buy it in bulk, and then I do the very minimum kit that I needed, that I needed to fish those type of rigs. Now that I had my parameters set for the angling for the whole year, let's start with January, very first trip to Stillwater.
Well, here I am, Stillwater Front Lake. First time on the new Society water, very first time. I picked peg 18, as you can see, bivvy set up, peg 18, just 24 hours. Rods are out on PVA bags with 8mm pop-ups on, and we're going to stay there for about 2.5 hours and see what happens. Spoke to another angler, he's fished on the bottom since Friday and caught a couple of bream. So yeah, so if this doesn't work, maybe swap to the zigs, but it's only 6 foot of water, so not much room to play with a zig. And there we have it, that is one zig ready to go. We're going to do exactly the same now, and then that'll be me ready to go for tonight. Well, last hour left, seen some bubbling in the left margin, so gently placed my snowman rig, re-dipped it in the booster, and then just placed it in the margin. A couple of boilers over the top for the last hour of fishing. We'll see if anything comes from that.
As you can see from that short clip, I was still indecisive and just trying anything to nick a bite, even into the closing hour, which saw me throw a rod into the margin for the last hour or so. If I remember correctly, I just went to the first semi-decent looking swim just out of the excitement to just get fishing really on the lake. which again in hindsight probably wasn't the best idea. However, on to the next session, which takes me to the back leg into swim 21, and this session graces me my very first carp of the year, of the campaign, along with a few bream which absolutely plagued me throughout this whole year on these two legs. Let's take a look.
To the club campaign. Today, 1st of January, so the start of the full year on the club water. We're here at Stillwater Back Lake, and that's where the campaign's going to go, from back leg and front leg throughout the whole year. And today we're on the back leg and we're fishing just up to the snags overhang the tree. Got 2 rods on the spot, fishing some crump, maggots and some maggot hook baits. The reason I didn't start the video earlier, because I'm only here for a day session and I just wanted to get the rods out as quickly as I could, so then here we are now. The rods are out fishing and the weather's looking good. Wind when I got here was coming into us, so again that's a good thing, and we'll just see what the session brings. I'll keep you updated. So this is the first time I've used maggots in my carping career, let's say. No liners. We're even fishing really tight lines, trying to fish for those liners as well. There's one shore to the right here you can't really see, but I'll show you later, and this is just loads and loads of trees in the water, so it's massively snaggy. And I think one showed there this morning as we were setting up. I wasn't too sure about it, so that could be an option, putting one on the outside of that snag, but for now we're just going to concentrate on the overhanging tree. Well, after a little bit of an eventful hour or so, one rig caught up in the bait boat, the other rig still down, moved to the right hand side in the margins where I've seen one show earlier, and that is the one that's just gone off, and here we are. Nice scaly mirror, 14 pound, give or take, but yeah, that's the campaign. With carp especially, often a good one. We'll get this one back and we'll try and get some more.
Still fairly indecisive, but trying out some well-known river tactics with maggot top pop-ups seem to work for me on this session. January draws to an end and February is here, which sees me start the midweek overnighters, finishing work, going straight to the bank, finishing, going straight to the work. So as I watch these videos back now, I remember how much time and effort went into my angling, not even picking swim, but just to get the days on the bank without having an effect on weekend, on my weekend life, which is all for family. Just starting to try and piece that puzzle together of what it is to crack a lake. So let's go and have a look at it.
So it's the 1st of February today, so it only seems right that we go fishing, right? So I've finished work early, around 2 o'clock. I've got to the lake for about 3, so I'm going to do till probably around 7 in the morning. So what's that, 15, 16 hours fishing. I'm going to, all my stuff's loaded on the trolley just for the overnight. I'm going to walk around the lake now and then see where's best to fish, either the front lake or the back lake. I do want to try and target an open water, but I'll see if there's any signs out there before I make any hasty decisions. So yeah, let's get walking. Just had a quick walk around the lake, and I think I'm going to fish peg 1 on the back lake. So this peg, if no one comes, that is, it's pretty quiet anyway, so if no one comes, it commands a lot of water. So I've got a westerly wind blowing right across me, blowing into this corner. So I'm definitely going to stick one rod down here once I've had a lead about. And also there's the island in front of me with two kind of like entrances. So I'm going to target probably the one on the right once I've had a lead around, either just in there or just in front of it, because I think that could be some kind of patrol area, but a feature as well. Obviously it's a feature, but if the temperature drops, which it isn't likely to do, they could hold up in that area, and equally, as it's mild conditions, they could just be patrolling around that area looking for food. But maybe the main priority to target is where the wind's blowing, so into this location here. We'll have a lead around and see if I can find a spot. It's 8 o'clock on the 13th of February now, so a couple of weeks since I last was able to come fishing. Today I'm going to do a full day, so right up until it goes dark, but the weather is meant to come in, so first thing it was up is the bivvy. As you can see, I've got the rods ready, made up a little bit of bait, and I'm just about to use the boat and put it in position. So yeah, last session sadly was a blank. I think you joined me when I came straight after work, so I got about maybe 17 hours worth of fishing in, so a little bit less today. But you know, the pressure is almost under 1,000, so that is looking good. But yeah, so it's sadly a blank, but hopefully I'm back on the back lake on peg 21, where I know it's, you know, I've caught from here before, so that's given me a little bit of confidence. I've gone with white wafter on one rig, and then a white pop-up topped with a little red bait topper on the other one. So I'm just going to use the boat now to put them out. Time for a little update. As you can see, I'm almost just sat in a puddle, fully committed to this weather. On the right hand rod, about a couple of liners, nothing much happening, but I just thought I'd let you know what is going on. The weather is horrendous. The pressure is under 1,000 now. I think it might be 196 or something. So the pressure's dropping, and I had a little look on the lake before, and I'd seen one fish show just out of the randomly in the open water, but it's a little bit too far away for me to get, and with the weather being like this, it's not something I want to be doing, is moving. I know I should, but just because of how bad the weather is, I'm gonna sit tight. Well, that was extremely emotional to pack away in that rain. I decided to call it early. I mean, I was sat in a puddle pretty much. Good morning. It's the 27th of February now, so this is going to be the last chance to get a carp on a bank. It's about 6:30 in the morning. I just got here. I've got my coffee and my bucket. I'm going to go and do a couple of laps before I decide what swim we're going to set up in. Peace. So as I said, this is February, so I've not had no carp this month so far. This is the last chance to catch a February carp. However, I have been out fishing for pike and perch, and I've had a few of them, just not really documented it. So yeah, so fingers crossed we can get a carp on the bank today. Otherwise, this video could be just a video of blanks for February, which obviously we don't want. But it shows you the reality of winter fishing. You know, it's not always you're not always going to catch. You need to put the hours in. I think I've only been fishing 3 or 4 times for carp this month, and that probably totaling maybe 48, 60 hours. So not a lot at all. There's another liner on there. We are into the first fish. Oh no! It could have all been over then. We could have had a carp on the bank. Came off. Oh my god. But I mean, the rods have only been in 20 minutes, so that is honestly such a positive sign. That was on the right hand rod, fished in the margin, very slow bite, as you just heard. I started to take the line and then I hit into it. Oh, that looked pretty good as well. Oh well, get another bomb out, another PVA bag, and let's carry on. After the loss this morning, the rods have been almost motionless all day. It's 4 o'clock now. I've just redone the rods and that'll see me through to the early evening now, so I'll probably pack up 6-ish. Sadly, it's ended in a blank. I wasn't able to put a fish on the bank this month at all, and that one that got away from me this morning could have been the blank saver and the one for the month. But at least I know that this margin does a bite, which is good. So there's fish obviously patrol here, depending on what time of day it is. That could have spooked it and messed the whole thing up for the rest of the day. Who knows?
After a devastating loss late on in February, the whole month ended in a blank, which didn't seem to dent my motivation at all during that period. But as I look forward to March, Jasper, my dog, loses his catfishing virginity, and on a 48-hour session. Also, as you hear me talk about Nick in this one, you're yet to see his face, but you will shortly, as he basically comes fishing with me and just catches more than me all the time, so you see him a lot on this YouTube channel. Now let's move on to March, which started off slow for spring. However, what I can only describe as an unbelievable night of non-stop action. It's safe to say this was a very productive month for me.
Well, after 2 moves, so I spent the first night on peg 1 on the front leg, and then I did a couple of hours on peg 11 on the front leg, and I just moved over here to finish the session off with my mate Nick as a bit of a social. And this one has just braced the net. 12 pound, lovely, full mirror, full leather should I say, almost. Got a few scales just on its ridge. Showed just off the spot, no more than 5 minutes later, the right hand rod had ripped off, slipped over the net to a Northern Special red wafter on an Illusion D-rig. Let's get this one back, hopefully we can get some more out. And next time I will be out will be next week. Hopefully I'll have my dog with me, so yeah, trying to train him to be a fishing buddy, so we'll see how that works. And it's we're going to be out for 2 nights, so fingers crossed he doesn't bark too much and you'll get to meet Jasper. See you soon. Good morning, it's the 21st of March, and as I said, today I'm joined by my fishing buddy. His first trip out. It's pretty good. When I get the rods out, start casting around, he just goes and sits on the bed there. But other than that, he's got a little ground spike in, a little lead attached to it. The rules are he has to stay on the lead, so that's the caveat to it. He's on the lead and he's still got free roam. Yeah, I thought at first it was a little bit hard work trying to set up with him here, but then once I got the ground spike in and started chucking the rods out, he didn't want anything to do with the rods, so which is good. So there's no chance of him getting hooked while you're casting or in your way while you're casting, because he's just not interested. As I said, he's just been sat there in the sun. So yeah, we'll see how today's session goes. We've got 2 on the spot out by the island at 15 wraps, and we'll see how that goes. Cold night last night, so the water temperature should heat up now. So fingers crossed. And I'm going to keep my eye out in the shallows to my left and see if anything happens there. See you later. Jasper's now just waiting for his morning snack. Here it is in the form of a dentist stick. Sit. Got my morning brew on. Jasper's just been chilling out with us. So yeah, it's looking good. Leave it. See how long he'll do this for now. So yeah, I've not had to tell him off much. He did a little bark as someone went past. So far so good. Like I said, he doesn't really like the rods, so when the rods come out, he gets on the bed, so he stays out of the way. So yeah, so far so good. We'll see what happens tonight. Go on then. Good boy. Well, the bream have started, so it's not a blank, but it's not exactly what we're after. But it is a good sign that the bream have started to feed. So hopefully some carp move onto the spot now. We'll see. Good morning, guys. Successful night, not on the fishing front, but Jasper, however, that's his first night done. Well. What have we got here? A little beauty waiting in the sack for some pictures. Just in the shingles, sorry, the dot islands there. It was my most likely rod to go off to a double sweet corn. So we'll get it out and have a look at her. So as I mentioned just then, left hand rod in the dot islands, ripped off, pretty locked up, so the rod tip bent round, and we hooked into this. 1 second. Weighing 17 pounds, not quite a PB. Fell to double corn on a D-rig. Happy days. Go on, madam. Away you go. Nice. Well, now that the dust settled after that carp, I've also had a bream on the right hand rod, which is fishing out to the island, in between like a dot island and the actual island. So kind of like a runway. But yeah, Jasper's chilling in the sun. Just quickly made up some more bait, and we are now good to go for the rest of the day. Hopefully we can get some more on the bank. It's just gone lunchtime, been trying to get a nap, and this little beauty ripped off. Just unhook it in the net, sorry. I'm going to slip it back and try and get some more. So that's 2 breamer on the right hand rod now. So again, that's looking good for a bite. I slip it back, get the rod back out there. As you can see, just fishing some chopped boilies, 18mm and 16mm chopped boilies, and fishing a D-rig with some slow sinking corn. So not much, half a scoopful of bait, and I'm just going to ship it back out now. This is turning out to be quite a productive day session, to be honest. Yesterday was cold in the morning, whereas last night it didn't drop that cold, so that could be why. But yeah, both rods are on the double corn. Right hand rods had 2 breams, left hand rods had the carp. Just put them back out, and hopefully, you know, it's looking like it could be a very good session today. Currently 7:10, just chilling out with Jasper, and we've got another bream. As you can see, it's quite a lump. It's nearly 9 o'clock. I'm getting plagued by a bream, even though I said, yeah, it's good. We've had 4 in the last 2 hours, but I know if I keep persevering, a carp will come along. to that spot. That's the one that's at the island, in between that and kind of like a little tiny dot island, so just at the mouth of the channel. And that's the one where we lost the carp. So yeah, it's all still working well. Well, what do we have here? Nice chunky one in the net. Gonna get it out and get it weighed. Still loads of time left during the night. So I've currently got one in the net, and I'm also playing one. It was a double take. I just went to get the one out of the net and put it in the sling to weigh it, and then the right hand rod's ripped off as well. So I'm currently playing a fish, and I got one in the net. As I was saying, there's two in the net. Double take. Let's have a look at them. Nice big common. I think the common's the bigger one, and then a mirror. So we fought our way through the bream, and at around 11 o'clock ish, maybe 10 to quarter to, left hand rod went. As soon as I got it in the net, went to get the sling, the right hand rod went, and we're into a double take. I have weighed them both, and this is a new PB for me. The second one is anyway, the first one just under, and you know, lake campaign PBs as well, personal and campaign. So let's have a quick look at the first one. This is the first one, we're in 18, beautiful mirror, big scales on it. Again, fell to sweet corn, well, double sweet corn, the slow sinking corn, on a D-rig. As I said, I was plagued by bream and I just persisted, and I've been rewarded with doing that. So yeah, that is the 18.5. Let's put this one back. Let's have a look at the other one. So this big boy is a new PB, weighing at 22 and 6 ounces. Lovely common. First common I've had out of this lake. Again, same tactic. Live system chop boilies. Bit of amino 365, and then double slow sinking corn on a D-rig. What a night this has turned out to be. Get some stills of these, then we'll put them back. So the rod by the main island has gone off again to this little beauty. Once it stops wriggling around, I'll be able to show you. Weighed it, 18 pound on the dot. This lovely common, belly stuffed, so it must have proper been chowing down on the chop belly that's out there. Right, see if it's calmed down enough now. So you have a look. Nope. Didn't put up much of a fight, that's why it's a bit restless now. Well, 18 pound on the dot. Feisty little thing, now it's on the bank, and didn't put much of a fight up out there. Same rod by the island. Same tactics, chop, live system, double corn. We're on the fish tonight. Let's get some stills and put it back. Well, 3:30 in the morning and the action is still going. Again, the right hand rod seems to be the one that's producing everything at the minute. And what we have in the sling is a nice looking common. Let's have a look at it. This is weighing 19.5 pound. So this would have been my equal in PB if I hadn't have already broke it already this evening, or this morning should I say. there we are, 19.5 pound, 3:30 in the morning. The tactic's still working, so we're just going to carry on fishing. Hopefully we can get some bigger ones. I lost one earlier, I'm not sure why, just came off. But yeah, 3:30, let's get this one back and carry on fishing. It's just gone 5 o'clock in the morning. The rods are still producing. What an unbelievable session, or what an unbelievable night, should I say. It's like it all of a sudden it just turned on. I think this is the 5th fish of the night. Yeah, this is a mirror now, weighing 21 pounds, so just see if we can get it up into the video. There we go. 21 pound mirror, 5 o'clock in the morning. Man, this session, I would never have even dreamed of this session on this lake, but I've been putting the hours in recently and it's all paid off for tonight. Let's get some stills and I'll put it back. Well, that is the end of that session, and what a session it was. Jasper, enough. 9 runs, 6 landed, lost 3. Yeah, unbelievable. That's it for March on the club campaign. I think you'd all agree that March was a very good month. So at this stage in the campaign, I believe I've cracked the lake with the swim choices, the bait application. However, I needed to slow the bream down. A few more tweaks were necessary at this point. I'm not too sure what happened in April. Maybe I needed a break from that one off session. That's the only thing I can think of. But when I sit down and actually think about it, I fished a few matches and I taught my nephew how to catch carp off the surface on a local lake. So yeah, all good. Let's take a look at my very first carp match. So this was QE1, so qualifying event 1. It was held up north at Old Mill Lakes, the Oak Lake. This has to be some of the worst weather conditions I've probably ever fished in. Firstly, we took a walk around the lake to get a better idea of the swims. Then, straight into the draw.
Oh, Toby. Last time you got before. Well, the corner one. Yeah. Go right over there. 10. 10. Is that where he is? That's the middle one with a bit more water in it. Yeah. No, he's on 11. Yeah, so either side. No, this side. You didn't want to worry something like that? Fine. I'll have 9.
Oh yes. Get 8. Yes, lads.
As you would have heard, I came out second and went for swim 9. Now we needed to load up the barrels and make our way to the swim. Good morning. As you would have just seen, I came second or third, I think, in the draw. Picked peg 9, and here we are. Bit of a cold and miserable setup. The wind's got a crosswind coming in. Found a bit of a clearish spot, so it's a slight bit of gravel. It's all sand and clay, so to find that was a little bit lucky. Fishing at about 13 wraps out, and yeah, trying to spom in this weather with the crosswind, as I just said. is quite difficult, so we've got a bit of a lateral spread rather than a tight knit spot. We're fishing 2 on the spot, Northern Specials, 1 red, 1 yellow. See which one, see whatever happens first. Yeah, now we're fishing. Current situation, we're in a blizzard. It's snowing like mad. As you can see, the snow's coming into the bivvy. Oh, what a time to be alive. Something that I'd never witnessed before was an underarm use of the spod rod. Big shout out to Matthew Cooney. During the last night, I was rudely awakened not by a bite or a run, but by Rob telling me that he had caught a fish. I 100% did not believe him due to everything that we'd seen over the last few days, but he persisted to tell me. So I got in my bed to be greeted by Rob's stunning 30-pound 6-ounce common sat in his net. Rob then openly admits that this common is indeed a new PB, but due to the conditions we agreed that he was a bucket. Look at that beauty. So maybe on the next QE we will get him. Happy days. Good morning. Only person to have one out last night was Rob next to me in peg 8. 30-pound 6-ounce common. Everyone else has been motionless. There's about 45 minutes left. Just started packing all the stuff away, and we'll just leave the rods out, wait for the klaxon really. But yeah, it's been a good experience overall, and probably when I get home I'll do an overview of my experience. But yeah, Rob's 30-pound 6-ounce common looks like it's for the win really. Everyone else gets a point for turning up. He'll get 5 points for winning the match, and it all goes towards the ICC, so Intercore Championships.
Now the match season is in full swing, with QE2 being the next outing before I could get back to Stillwater. Qualifying event 2 takes me up north again to Sandpit Lake, and this is part of the Westmore Farm Fishery complex, and I must say the swims there are probably the best swims that I've ever fished from. They're immaculate. You've got a picnic bench, you've got fully metal structures naming the swims. The swims are all mapped out. Honestly, one of a kind. I don't think I've ever seen it anywhere else either. Let's have a look at that. Fisheries. We're just here to start QE2 for the RSC season.
What time is it now? 10 to 6 in the morning. We're just about to set up all the pegs. As you can see there, the lads coming around with the peg markers. So just going to go quick walk around, get the peg set up for the boys. Here he is. Well, now that it's settled down, as you would have seen from the draw, I came out second, which was an absolute, obviously I could have gone better, I could have come first, but I went for Chloe's peg, which in how we've pegged it up is peg 6, and I'm really pleased with it. As soon as I tipped up, there's a fish show in front. and during the night, yesterday when we did our walk around, so we was been here quite a few hours because we stayed last night. So we did a walk around last night a couple of times, and every time we'd come around there was fish in this margin on the right hand side. So I've got a bait, a rig down there, and on the left when I've got a bit of an island in front of me, I'll show you the swim later. I've got an island over to my left hand side, and I'm fishing just off that 9 wraps out. The island is probably 11 wraps, so 9.5, just under 9.5 wraps, and that's just fishing at the minute a little Northern Special wafter with a mesh bag on there, or a PVM mash, whatever it is, ball, whatever you want to call them, is on there. Just at the minute, I'm just trying to fish for a bite. To be fair, I don't really want to fill it in just yet, and that's not my type of fishing anyway. So if the bites start to come, then I'll give them a little bit more bait than what I would just off a mesh bag. So the rain's held off, and it's still relatively warm out there. So as I said, I'll go through the swim. So straight away, a lovely feature. Each swim's got a big post with a name on it. So this is Chloe's, obviously, as you can read. As I pan round, you'll see my bivvy. That's a Frontier XD, barrow next to it, and like a picnic bench. Onto probably a place for another bivvy. So I believe this could be a double swim. And as I come down, so we've put our own peg numbers in. So peg 6, as you've seen. And as I come round over here, really nice feature. So not only do you have somewhere to hang your scales, the cradle and the sling are supplied. That's my net and my scales. So yeah, you don't need to bring any of that. But one of the best features, and I've never seen this on any other lake. So it just highlights the rules to you. And not only that, then it maps out your swim, your boundaries, and then the contours within your swim. So if you don't really need to find depth. You know, it's all there. You know, if you want to, then you can go ahead and do that. However, there's no need to do that. So as I mentioned before, if you can see here, it kind of goes in slightly and it drops off quite sharp. So I've kind of got a rig roughly there, and then also I've got a rig roughly here. So what that looks like in the water then is this island and almost roughly there. So it's like 9.5 wraps for in this area here. And as I pan around to that, that's still my water. And if I come around to the right hand side, if I look down the margin, I've got a rig probably just, let's focus on my finger instead. Just lock that on. So I've probably got a rig just there. So a few handfuls of my mix in there, and then put a rig down there on a mesh bag. So yeah, that's the peg, that's the swim, that's where the traps are set. As you can see, beautiful lake. This came to the right hand rod in the margin. As predicted, a couple of little beeps early on in the session, and then all of a sudden just absolutely ripped off. Nearly pulled the rod round. Not massive, but look at it for a fish. 10 pound on the nose. Get this one back, try and get some more. Well, just thought I'd pop on, give you a little update. You see me have that fish on the same rod. I've had 2 bream, and I've lost a fish. So just got round to Clay. Is ripped off. It's called me over so we can mark it down officially. Hooked into a lovely 17 pounder.
Happy days, first fish off to mark. Didn't expect it really, it's been quiet all day. There's only a couple of fish come out of the lake, but yeah, this is the biggest one of the, well, second biggest of the year. QE2 qualify, but yeah, lovely mirror. I didn't think it was that big from the start, but then when you seen it, it was a nice big chunk and that, but yeah, happy days. Get in, you banger, come on. And tell Uncle Johnny Boy to go on, lad. Go on, son, get away. Happy days.
Lovely. Good morning, guys. Just thought I'd jump on and give you a little update. As you would have seen, carp runner Clayton caught one last night, and then there was one more come out at 23 pound over in Viva's peg. That was the peg least likely to catch, to be fair, because it's just got deep water, so it came from the margin. Clayton's was 17 and the one from Viva's was 23. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fish come out now. Sadly, mine was the lightest, so at the minute I'm in last place of the people that I've caught. Still looking good for a bite, you know. I'm still getting liners on that right on rod, and almost instantly from getting off the camera to you just, Clay shouted over me that Reese, the person next to me, is in. So we're just going to walk over and see what he's doing. He's just playing it now. We'll try and get some footage of him playing it. So as I said, I've just come over to Reese's peg now and he's playing it. He says he caught it from out in the middle. I thought it might have been one of his margin rods. See if you can see it. There we go. The first common of the match, I believe. Good work, man. It's the one. Finally. Oh, she's a corker. It's wide, that, you know. What's your initial estimate?
I don't know. We'll have to find out, won't we?
Lovely. Current scores of the doors on the QE2 going into the last night. Got Reese to my left on 54.1, Nick across the lake on 52, Ant on 37, H on 23, then you've got Clay on 17, Callum on 14. It looks like Callum's into a fish as we speak, and then you got me on 10. So fingers crossed going into tonight. A couple of big fish or a couple of decent fish could put me back in with a running. Still all to play for.
Came out of the draw fairly high, so I jumped straight into the swim. The next swim available on my list, so I think I maybe picked my second or third choice swim. That's where I'd seen him during the night, and when we got there we had a little walk around, and that's where I'd seen some fish. So set up, and then boom, first bite of the match. Landed a small mirror. I thought I had the match absolutely nailed in my favour at that point. However, just didn't happen, and I got plagued by bream for the rest of the session. I think I must have caught into 10 bream, easy. And that was the end of that, really. Finally, after what felt like months away from Stillwater with the weather warming up, I catch had to make a return and continue to chip away at the lakes. Let's take a look.
Good morning, guys. You join me back out on the bank on the club water. I haven't fished it for a good few weeks now. I think it's the 6th of May, 7th of May, something like that. So I haven't fished it since the beginning of April, where I did a bit of a social with my mate. So yeah, just getting back out on the bank now. And I'm set up in peg 16, where I was when I had the flurry of fish. I got one rod out on the island, and I've just looked to my right, and there's fish all up in the high up in the water column to my right. So I'm gonna chuck out a zig just within that general area. I've never caught a fish on a zig, so I don't have much confidence, but no time like the present, and I can see them. You know, failing that, maybe a controller float with some pellet or ball of maggots or something like that, as I've not got any sort of floating bait with me. So that's the plan for today. You're not going to believe what's just happened. Left rod ripped off on the corner of an island, struck into it. It was just flat rodding me, going. Tried to stop it, couldn't stop it, and it's cut me off just on the edge. So one run, one loss. Right, I'm going to re-rig this rod and get it back out there. And it felt nice. Didn't feel like slowing down at all. So absolutely gutted, but that's what fishing is about. Let's try again. Well, I've just finished my brew and thought I'd show you the spot where I'm fishing. So as you can see, it's like the edge of an island. I was fishing just beyond that. So as the fishers took the bait, it's gone round to the left, round the back, and I just couldn't get it back round, and it snapped me off on that low-hanging tree, I believe. I retrieved the lead, which is good, so it's just got a hook in its mouth. So yeah, fingers crossed that can come out safely. But the main thing is that the weight, I still had the lead, which is good. I've got the waders on, which can only mean one thing. As predicted, the left rod went again. Quickly made my way in to the water to stop it from going round, and we've got a lovely scaly one. Gonna quickly get the rod back out, and then we'll get it out and have a look at it. This could potentially be another PB. I'm not too sure. My PB is only £22. But looking at it, it's really wide, so it could well be. Right, let's get the rod back in and sort it out. Well, there we have it. After losing two, well, one properly won, and then second one struck into nothing. Third time lucky, I suppose. I got straight into the waders, straight in the water. And as soon as it was out in open water, I knew we just had to take it easy and bring it back in, bring it home. So yeah, lovely looking scaly one, caught on the double sweet corn, or the fake corn as always. The tactic hasn't changed even coming into summer, still the same, and it's still producing bites. So get this one back now and try and get some more on the bank. There's been a little bird found in a tree, stuck on some lines. The bailiff's gone out in the boat and rescue it. All in a day's work. On another note though, probably last half an hour, bivvy's away, stuff's more or less all packed, ready to go. Final knockings, gents. See if we've got a take.
It's really nice to see the bailiffs reacting to concerns of the anglers. As you've seen, then the bailiff went out and saved it was a coot or something that was trapped by some fishing line in the trees, so that's good work. And then after toying with some zigs throughout the year with little results or no confidence whatsoever, in June this method would catch me the biggest fish of my angling journey / career, whatever you want to call it, to date. And let's make our way to Gigantica Road Lake.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, or this week, you join me from Gigantica Road Lake. I've been here now maybe 5-6 hours. We've got the rod set up, all the campsites, the bivvy set up, and we are good to go. However, we're not very hopeful today. Well, today because it's been 39 degrees. Hottest day of the year so far. The fish have pushed right down into this corner where I'm fishing. I came out 7th out of 9 people in the draw, and luckily enough then this peg wasn't taken, so jumped straight in. I'm in the beach. 21 wraps out towards the 3 trees. Fish just showed over the spot there. Got 2 fishing on the bottom and 1 on a in between 12 and 13 foot zig out there, all on the same spot. Good morning, guys. Lovely little wake up call there. I'm wet, which is a good sign. I had to get in the water, but let's have a look at this. Right hand rod is the one on a zig. That went kited all the way around to the right. I was in the water just there, playing it from around the corner. It didn't drop the lead, and I've been blessed with an upper 40 mirror. So yeah, I'll give the bailiffs a ring and we'll get some pictures of it. Absolutely unreal. First fish, Gigantica Road Lake, scraper 50 really, depending on zeroing the scales correctly. So it could be looking at a 50-pound mirror in there. Only time will tell. Well, guys, just a quick update. So last time we would have seen I'd caught a fish. After that, whilst I was waiting for the bailiff to come around, I'd had another one and I'd lost one. So I've had 2 fish so far. One at 46. We thought it was a scraper 50, but it's 46. And then a comment at 28. The pictures will be up just after this. So yeah, that's them 2. And then I lost one on the zig as well. I kind of like reused the last zig, which wasn't a very good idea. But I'd never used zigs before, so you know, still learning. So yeah, I tied up a new zig, put that one back out, and then just before the sun really started to come out, I had to jib off to go and get some sun cream because I almost died yesterday sitting in that sun. Now I'm just sat off the rods into some shade, so with my receiver, so if anything happens I can quickly get over there. Good morning, guys. Bit of drama this morning. lost 3 fish. One I actually made contact with, played it for a good 20 minutes, and it then just came off. Again, the lead didn't eject. For some reason I'm struggling to get this set up right, so but hopefully now I've got it right. So what I've done with the lead clip is snip a little bit of the clip off, and then only literally probably not even a millimetre of tail rubber onto the end of the clip. So hopefully that solves that problem. Second one, I was spodding up and the zig, the left hand rod which is on the zig, ripped off. So I reeled in as quickly as I could with the spod, and by the time I'd got to the rod it had gone, so that's gone down as a miss really. And then lastly I hooked into one again on the zig. The zig's doing really well this morning, so hooked into one, and then as soon as I made contact it's just gone, cut me off straight away. I'm not too sure what that was, maybe just an old zig, but I've been fishing with 11-pound zig line. So what I've done is I've upped the line a little bit, so hopefully that solves that problem, so I can kind of, you know, try and bully the fish a little bit rather than being really cautious playing a fish on 11-pound line. So that's the change of tactics this morning. So as I mentioned, the food here is absolutely amazing. So this morning looks like bacon and hash brown with a bit of red sauce on there. Nice big thick crusty cob thing. So yeah, gonna get this munched in, probably have another coffee. Well, this morning I thought I'd miss the bite window, reposition the rod on the bottom. Thought I was fishing a little bit too close in, so I repositioned it, and within about 20 minutes this one ripped off. It's even showing its dorsal, ripped off. It's 24-pound mirror. After yesterday hard work, it finally this morning graced with this one. Fishing over CC Moores, live system and tuna, Pacific tuna, chopped up with some maize. Yeah, and Northern Special Wafter on a D-rig has done the job. This is the second one off the bottom. I've had nothing on the zigs this morning, but yeah, there we go. Let's get it back and try and get some more. Well, there we have it, second of the morning, again on the middle rod at the bottom. It took me by surprise actually. Just put the rod back out, a few more spawns over it, then I was eating breakfast and absolutely ripped off. So yeah, second fish of the day, fourth fish of the trip. We're a couple of days in, so it's looking good, looking promising. Hopefully those bites on the bottom can keep coming. Right, let's get this one back. Well, as you can hear, it's chucking it down, and I'm in the clubhouse slash lake house kind of thing. So I've come to put my stuff on charge, so I'll give you a quick rundown of what's here and the facilities available. So as you drive in, you'll drive in from there, you'll park your car up just here, and you know, you've got spare waders, nets, slings, whatever you might need in your swim that you haven't brought, you've got it here. And then moving on, you've got the fish care, so that's what they expect you to do when you catch a fish. Pretty self-explanatory, and I think there's also a YouTube video, so yeah, you can't really do any wrong. Come further around back into the shelter, you've almost got kind of like the Hall of Fame for the big fish out there. So yeah, you come all the way around, you see all the fish that's in the lake. Not showing the biggest, I think it may be over 70 pound. So yeah, you could get one of the named fish. And then you got a little couple of picnic benches, an honours board. This is for the fridges. So if you want a drink, you pretty much just help yourself, you know, biscuits, water, whatever it might be, you help yourself and then just fill it out on almost like a tick system. So if you want a beer, you just put one next to it, take a beer, and at the end of the week it'll get tallied up. And there's one over in the main lake as well that you have for dinner, and they'll go from there. So they do the draw here. So you got the board, and on the board, for instance, if we look at my peg, the beach, obviously that's my name, and B meaning brown sauce for on my breakfast baps. Luckily for me, I've got a car park just behind me. Yeah, so that's the whole layout. Gives you your map of the swim. Also, bit of a charging point in there. I've got my power bank on charge. That's kind of left on a trust basis. However, it's either going to be the bailiffs or the people you're fishing with if it goes missing, and they're here till Saturday. So, you know, you work on a trust basis. In the fridge, if you want to bring your own baits, you can do. If you want to buy the main line from them, then again, you can do. It's been hot this week, so as you can see, people have put their own ice creams in there. I've got some water in there. So yeah, that's all good to go. If I come out of this door, so these two doors here, these are toilets, all the spare loo roll, nice and clean, cleaned every single day, good to go. If I then walk around the other side of the clubhouse or lake house, whatever you want to call it, on this side you have a shower block. So you've got the shower, a sink, mirror and a little stool, all good to go. So yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to know about Gigantica. Well, yesterday, after a bit of a tough day, no bites for me. This was landed this morning, 16.5 pounds, absolute stunning mirror. Off the bottom, had a few liners and that during the night, and I struck into nothing, and then an hour later or so struck into this. So yeah, the bottom is still producing bites, which is good. We're on Thursday now, so we got today and tomorrow left fishing, and well, today, tomorrow, and then tomorrow night, and we pack up Saturday morning. So there's still time. This is the 5th fish. Hopefully we can get a few more on the bank. Let's get this one back. Well rested now, so time to get it back. Look at that. Let's get it back. Well guys, it's Thursday afternoon. I just thought I'd jump on and give you a little vlog update. We've had that one this morning and nothing really. Had maybe a little liner before, but nothing too much. Down here for me, it's definitely morning, well, you know, through the night / morning bite time window. There's been a few more out through the lake. Excuse me. There's been a 50 out. Not last night. I think the night before, 50 came out. You know, a few 20s, couple of doubles. I don't think anyone's had many 30s, to be honest. Or maybe 130 in the whole week, which is crazy really. I thought there'd be a bigger head of 30s and 40s, but yeah, there's been a 49 out. So yeah, the lake's still fishing pretty good. It's just not happening in the day. What time is it? It's around 7 o'clock now, 6:30, and it's really pleasant now. So it's looking really carpy. Flat's calm on the water. The fish again still in my spot, but I think they've been spawning. So here at Gigantica, when the fish spawn, they don't just shut the lake or whatever, because there's probably about 1,000 fish in this lake, and it just goes to show there might be some spawning, but there's still some feeding. So it doesn't really matter as long as, you know, you're not trying to catch the ones that are spawning, which just happens to be just out of reach of my peg. So yeah, I know I'm not going to catch them, and they're up in the surface. So hopefully we can get some fish for the night now. Yeah, just like going over my actual experience here, I would 100% recommend, if you want to go fishing abroad and you're you know, you're an angler that maybe doesn't have many other friends as anglers, not necessarily friends but other angling friends, then just do it on your own. Something I would say, because you're not necessarily fishing on your own, but you are. So you come here on your own, you're physically fishing on your own. If they do something similar to what Gigantica do, you'll all meet up for dinner, you'll have a couple of beers, you know, you can always chat to the other people, so you're not necessarily on your own. I know it could be daunting for some people, but or frightening. I thought there's no way I'm good enough to, as an angler to come and fish somewhere like Gigantica, but coming here, I've realised that there's a massive array of anglers, from people that have never really used a spod or zig, right through to people that go fishing, you know, probably every single weekend and are really good and really confident at it. Again, you don't really need to hit if you're not confident at casting. I would recommend coming to the road lake, because you don't necessarily need to hit you know, 20-25 wraps. I know I'm fishing at 21-22, but a lot of the swims are fishing at 16 to 18, which even as a beginner, that should be quite comfortable for you to be hitting with a spod and with your baited rods. So yeah, definitely just embrace it and give it a go. Nothing to lose, and potentially huge fish to catch. Anyway, I'm going to carry on supping some beers now into the night and enjoy it, as it's a lot cooler tonight. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy that. Probably do a bit more spodding a little bit later on, and then get my head down ready for the night. Hopefully get a night bite. We've not had one yet, which is annoying, because I do enjoy a night bite, because the pure carnage, don't know what's going on, and I just love them. So disorientating, and the excitement of a beep screaming off in the night, oh, I just love it. So yeah, that's a little update from me, and I'll see you in the morning at breakfast, see what we've got. Good morning guys, Friday morning, one full day left. Beautiful scenes, just having my morning coffee. And what do we have there? I think it's maybe a Heidelberg scraper 20, maybe, caught on a zig, just out there, 12-foot zig. Yeah, I managed to finally land the fish on a zig. So the first one, the one being 46, landed on a zig, and then that little one there. Even though I've had a few runs on the zigs, I've only managed to land 2 fish. So yeah, I'm getting used to the zig fishing, especially the fixed ones. Not very good at the adjustable, but only more time using them and the experience will get me better at using them. So yeah, I'm going to finish my brew and we'll get this one out and have a look at it. Well, there you have it. Second fish caught to a zig at 12 foot. Pretty tricky to land when you're on your own, having not got much experience in it. But yeah, immaculate looking common at 21.5. Absolute perler. Really, she's almost ready to go back. Spin around so you can have another look from this angle. Yeah, 6 fish of the session, last 24 hours almost now. Try and make the most of it. Still in that bite time window, so you might see another fish in the next, within the next hour or so. So yeah, we'll get this one back well rested. The bailiff's just come round and we got pictures of the 46, 44 something common, and the 44 pound, no sorry, 44 pound, let me get it right, 44 pound mirror and 34 pound 10 mirror as well. That 44 pound mirror even beat me up on the mat. Here at Gigantica they got really thick mats, and oh, it must have took close to 10 minutes to get these pictures. Obviously it was keeping the fish, lots of water going on it, but yeah, absolutely soaked me, soaked the bailiff with the camera. I'm absolutely drenched. We'd have probably been better off just getting in the water, doing some water shots with it. But yeah, I think it's the end of the window now, so I've sort of spaced out the rods a little bit more rather than keeping them tight on the spot, just trying to pick off any of those roaming fish. We've got 2 on the zig rigs, 1 still on the bottom. That one on the bottom hasn't done anything, even through the bite window. So yeah, I'll put the pictures up straight after this, so you'll see them. Just water view. So my swim's over there, and I've got all this water in front of me, and it's just unbelievable. What a place. And then to my left there, a little stock pond, a little walkway in between. Let's go. Well, last night here at Gigantica, I've not had a daytime bite or any bite past lunchtime for this whole week, and especially not during the night. However, just relaxing, taking in the sunset, having a beer, and I landed this little beauty at 15 pounds on the dot. Yeah, it's not the biggest, but definitely one for the future, especially in this lake. So yeah, potentially the last fish, but what a fish to end the session on.
Snap back to reality after the highs of the Gigantica trip. Honestly, I can't recommend that place enough. I went on my own as my first ever European fishing trip, and the staff, other anglers, were all very, very welcoming. It's definitely worth booking a trip. Who knows, maybe in the future I might even give the main lake a shot. We'll see. Right, let's crack on. After being back from France a day, I travelled up north again to another match. This was qualifying event 3, and this was held at Trentview, where a couple of the lads on the team landed their personal best on that session.
So as you would have seen, I'm in peg 4. Yeah, it's about 16 wraps, 17 wraps to the actual reed bed in front of us, in the reed line in front of me. So I've got one rod at 16 wraps, which is about a rod length and a bit off it. And then I've just got one pub chucked out to the left. I mean, we got really narrow swims, which is a bit of a problem. But yeah, we're fishing now, and as I was trying to find the spot with a marker rod, I've actually snapped my marker rod. But I've been in contact with the tackle shop that I bought it from, and they've raised the case with Fox, so hopefully that can get sorted, as I'm absolutely gutted. But yeah, we're fishing. We've gone for solid bags this time, as I was speaking to the locals, and well, obviously now I've got no choice but to go for a solid bag or stringer or something like that, or mesh maybe. Just been summoned to Clay, Carp runner Clay, just had the first fish of the match, roughly 34 pounds, that's a new PB, so he'll be getting bucketed some point today. We're just going to get some pictures now, some water shots, and yeah, we'll do both, and then yeah, we'll have a look.
For a long time, you've been waiting for this day for a long time. It's not actually a part of it. Cheers,
Happy days, mate.
Keep doing the business, mate. Just chuck that back over there, mate.
Yeah.
A little free net look at them, mate. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, probably a high double.
Yeah.
Maybe a scrape of 20. Yeah, could be. Could be a
Nice fish.
So I'm not sure. Have you done much of like handling fish out of the water?
Out of the water, yeah, a wee
like
bit.
This, what I'm doing now.
No.
So what you do is collapse the net, roll it down.
Yeah.
Some fisheries like you to put the slings in the water, but you can do this if it's not. So what you do is get it ready, check its fins.
Check its
make sure
fins,
they're
yeah.
on the side. Yeah. Roll it down some more. We're going to come out. It's still so deep. Might just go through it, actually. What's it saying there? 17 and a half, bang on.
But
17. So that's so that would be 17, 17 and a half, yeah?
yeah.
Beast. So been chucking solid bags out now probably all day. Arrested the swim, seems like a good idea. And we've just been graced with this 17.5 pound lovely looking almost double linear mirror from the far bank. About 20 wraps with a solid bag. Yeah, just pulled up tight and then started taking some line. Slip it back, try and get another one, put me back in with a shot of placing in the match. So I'm not blanking at the minute, which is good. Let's get it back.
Yeah.
Come on.
You get the scoops first, yeah?
2,
Not ready?
3, 2,
1. Absolutely buzzing for you, Matty. Well done, mate.
Cheers,
Absolutely,
lads.
congratulations, mate.
Cheers,
Well
buddy.
done.
Thanks,
Yes,
mate.
lad.
I'm buzzing.
as you can see, missing the top section of the rod. Let's do it. 21 wraps we're going for. This could end before the run.
Well then, Clay, top rod, first win. How does it feel?
Absolutely brilliant, fantastic, yeah. 116 pounds, 16 ounce for 5 fish. The biggest being a known fish from the A-team called CJ, named after the bailiff's daughter. Absolutely buzzing with it, yeah. 116 pounds, 16 ounce of fish. 5 top fish altogether.
That was your PB, wasn't it? What was the weight?
Yeah, PB was a 37 pound 4 ounce, absolutely smashing the PB.
And we've got the footage of you getting a bucket. Happy
Yeah, so you
days.
can see the footage on the video, yeah.
What was your go-to tactic then?
So tactics then, I was using the crayfish mini mix from DNA with a nice pink wafter over the top with loads of bait. In the end, I think I put about 18 kilo out on bait on top of the solid bag.
Plenty of bait then.
Fishing at 15 wraps just in middle water. The bite time really was between midnight and 5 in the morning. But yeah, really good, really enjoyed it. Trentview, gents, if you've never been down there, get yourself down there. Ian the bailiff's top bloke and that push in the right direction. But the quality and the stamp of fish in here are phenomenal. Just look at the pictures through the video.
And lastly, what's that logo on your jumper?
Logo on the jumper, and that's Snag Warriors. Give them a big shout out, Snag Warriors. They just promote your Instagram page. So if you want to get amongst it, give them a follow. Any fishing you do, any vlogs and that you do, they just get it on the Instagram. But yeah, give them a shout out, Snag Warriors. Get amongst it.
Perfect. Happy days. Well done, brother.
Some lovely fish pulled out of that competition, only there for 48 hours. Also, there were some new faces joining the team, which is all good to see. So the more and more our team grows, the more funding we get, the more time we get to play, and so on and so forth. So it's really good to see that. July is now upon us, and if you remember, we had that ridiculous heat wave up to around 30, 34 degrees, and I also got bitten by a goose. Let's see how that played out.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. You joined me today on the 19th of July, so if you are watching this, it's that time of the month where we had the ridiculous heat wave. It's about 36 degrees, and we're back at the club water. The target is, before I leave this water, obviously not today, however it could happen, is to catch one catfish and then a carp over 25 pound. And that's my goal, what I want to achieve on this lake or on this water before moving on onto a different water within the club. So yeah, it's a Tuesday afternoon. We're just going to do a quick overnight session just for this one, and then back to work in the morning. So yeah, we'll have a little walk around now, see if there's any on the top. Might be able to nick a bite, but if not, hunker down, probably just SF it under the stars tonight, and yeah, see if we can catch one of those catfish or indeed a carp. Right, let's get the gear out and see what's going on. So although they was all over the surface in peg 1, I did about 20 minutes. They just weren't interested. Came and then waited for Nick. So Nick's here now, give him a wave. Hey, waited for Nick and then we just carried on. And I'm currently in peg, what peg is this? 17, so just to the left of where we normally are. Nick's in 16. The rods are all set up. Traps are set, good to go. Had a couple of liners already, and as I said before, we're in that heat wave, and we're literally on the verge of a storm where it's meant to drop from 36 degrees storm then to 26. So with a drop in pressure, bit of rain, hopefully we can get some fish on the bank tonight. We'll talk about the bait application a little bit later on, probably once we've had a bit of dinner. So yeah, I'll let you know if anything happens in between then and now. Peace. No messing about. Yeah. Whoa, did you see that? It got me hand. Yeah. Started eating my finger. So there you have it, nice little overnight session. Fishing just specific tuna, chops soaked in a bit of oil, and then the hook bait is one straight out the bag, topped with a piece of fake corn. As you know, this place absolutely loves fake corn. And yeah, blessed with this lovely scaly mirror, weighing 21.14. A little bit battered, a little bit bruised up on its dorsal fin, but yeah, absolutely buzzing. This is what overnighters are about, coming in, trying to nick a bite, getting rewarded for the efforts, one step closer to catching some of the bigger ones in here. Well, it's that time of week again, Tuesday, 2:20. I've just got through the first gate. I'm on my way down the track to the second gate of the club water. Summer holidays now, so I'm hoping that it might be pretty quiet. I mean, it's normally quiet anyway, but I'm thinking it might be no one on. I don't think I've ever been the only person on the actual complex. I've been the only person on one lake, but this could be a new one. Just got all the kit out, and actually there's a little bit more of the car park. So I think there's actually maybe 12 anglers. I think someone's just leaving now. So yeah, it looks pretty busy. I might just have to try and find somewhere and just slot in. It's not ideal, but I thought it was going to be empty. How very wrong I was. Right, let's get the kit wheel down and we'll see where we can slot in. It gets hot very quickly when you realise at the other end of the lake that the wheelbarrow has punctured. Oh my god. So yeah, pushed it all the way. I don't even know what peg I'm in. Couldn't tell you, don't know. Maybe 6. Yeah, I think I'm in peg 6. This is all on the front lake. So as I did my walk around, I was speaking to all the people, and there was a geezer just in peg 6, and he had 5 during the night. So I've looked around onto the back lake. There's people in my swims, the swims that I like to fish from. So given this peg opening up, I thought, yeah, why not jump on the front lake. I've just lost one. I'm quickly retying the rig now. It was on the right hand rod, which is on the closest side of the lilies, and the bobbin just pulled up tight. I wouldn't say liners, but I did see the rod tip move. So what I did is what did I do? I slackened the line off slightly, turned the sensitivity up on the bite alarm, and I was just talking to a couple of boys. A couple of old boys that I just walked past, and literally as they turned around, the bobbin pulled up tight, struck into it, and it's headed just as you would expect straight into those lilies, and it absolutely stripped line off like I haven't seen anything, to be honest. So 2 options: it was either a big carp or a catfish, but I never felt anything like that pull instantly, so I think it was a catfish. Like I say, I'm just tying another rig up now. I'm going to get that rod straight back out, same bait. I'm not baiting too heavy, as the person who was in behind me had done 24 hours, so I don't actually know how much bait's out there. And he was scattering the bait, whereas obviously me with a bait, but I can afford to be a little bit tighter as it's more accurate, isn't it? So yeah, going to quickly tie this rig up, get it back out there, and fingers crossed. I mean, that's good, it's 6 o'clock, so it shows me that something's there, everything's working. We've had a bite. Only thing now, just try and land it. So yeah, I'll finish tying this and get the rod back out. Got the rod back out. Took me a little longer, as I had to physically tie up a new rig. I didn't have any blowback rigs tied up because I was just trying it. But at the minute, every time, last session and this session, I've been putting it in the likely spots, and I caught one last session. A little rat there behind me. Caught one on the last session, and obviously I've just lost one now. So I didn't have many tied up because I was just trialing it. Whereas I think I'm gonna. So obviously, if you into my fishing and watch me a lot, then I normally use Illusion D rigs, but I am trying to use a bottom bait rig, which is obviously the blowback. So that's what I've been trialing. So yeah, I think I need to reblend and sit and tie some of those rigs up. But yeah, so far so good on the spot. We know the bait's working, the rig's obviously working. So yeah, hopefully we can get a few and bully him out of the pads this evening. But yeah, I'm gonna cook some burgers now while the night's still young and go from there.
At this stage in the year, myself and Nick believe we had fully cracked the back lake, yet the front lake was still throwing blanks at us. I think by now I'd lost anything and everything that could have possibly been a carp. I just lost snapped, hook pull, whatever it might be, snagged up. I just could not seem to land the fish. Looking at August, I fished another match. This was qualifying event 4 at Todger Manor. After that match, I got selected to represent the Royal Armor Corps fishing team at the Inter-Corps Carp Championship. So we call that the ICCCs or the ICCs, whatever you want to call it. And that was held at Linear, either on B1 or B2. As a pair, you fish it, and I ended up teaming up with Rob, a good friend of mine. You'll probably see him in some of these videos. If not, you've seen him on the channel before. So, as I'd never fished Linear before, Rob and I decided to pretty much go up there and, you know, choose a peg as close to the fish as we could. We started with B1. What looked promising was shown out in front, and we just worked on working the peg, how we're going to use fish from one peg at Linear, baiting. You know, if one person's catching, the other one needs to be baiting up, etc., etc., just to keep that hit of fish coming. As you well know, in Linear you can have a big hit of fish. And I'd never been before, so Rob's kind of held my hand, and we had almost like a recce slash just a look at it really. A few of the other teammates came along as well. And here is essentially what happened on that session. In this video, we're in Linear Fisheries. We started off on B1, very, very slow because of the heat. It was roughly 28, 29 degrees, so we had a walk around after the first 24 hours and decided to drop onto B2. I believe we're in peg 21, 22 on B2, and what a session it's turned out to be, or what should I say, what a 24 hours it's turned out to be. I've managed to land 4, lost 1, missed maybe 1, and yeah, PB as well, so keep watching to the end, you'll see me get a bucket.
Well, that's us now at Linear. We got here about, the gates open about 7:15, so yeah, we've only just pretty much started fishing, and it is now 12:20. Rob's had a bit of a mare, cracked off a couple of times. Wind knotted up a few times as well, but it looks like he's all right now. He's hitting 31 wraps with his spod, so not too bad, not too shabby. We've found a spot at only 12 wraps out, so we've got 3 rods. So we're only fishing 2 rods each, but we've got 3 rods on that, and then Rob's chucking one to where we've actually seen some fish showing. I think he's just going to chuck a single out there once he's put a little bit of bait out. But yeah, we're all here, all set up, ready to go. Hopefully we can get some fish on the bank, even though it's set to be a warm day. So I think we might, well, I might try a little zig, 10-foot zig, see what's going on, see if there's anything around. It's worth a shot in it. No pressure then, Rob. Here we go, 31 wraps. The clip and in. Happy days. Well, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning now. We've had breakfast. Been sat here looking at the water through bite time window, and we've seen fish, a lot of fish showing on the other side. So we had a walk around and they were still showing. We bucketed a swim. So as you can see, just packing up now, ready to go. Rob, tell the fans what we've had for breakfast.
Lovely sausage and cheese back with a bit of reggae sauce, mate.
Can't beat it. Right, we'll talk through what we're going to do when we're on that side. Let's get to it. Well, after a quick walk around before, we bucketed the swim on B1. Then we met up with a mate who was on fishing B2 already, and we went for a little walk round and seen all the fish. I spoke to a geezer next to us. I don't know what swim we're in, I couldn't tell you. And he had 3 bites last night, which is good. The fish are all over the top of the lake, so we can actually see the fish and we know where they are. So we thought we'd drop in now. It was midday, you know, we're not optimistic about a bite at this time because it's so hot. It's 28, 29 degrees. So we did a bit of leading about, found our spots, chucked some bait out there, and just put a side bag out there for now. Yeah, going into the night, it's looking a bit more promising and a bit more confident that we're actually on the fish. Obviously, he's caught next to us. People down in the bay have caught as well. So far so good. Rob's had a couple of liners, but we do think that could just be the weed moving around. Now you've just seen then, Rob's tying up some bags, ready to go. Well, you could say it's been a rather successful night. One in each of the sling, and then the tench decided to wipe all 3 rods out. But yeah, it's quite a big tench. So yeah, just redoing the rods, then we're gonna get the fish out, have a look at them. Let's see. Well, there you have it. First linear carp for me, and the only one of the sessions so far, and we're in the closing stages. But yeah, absolutely over the moon that we made a move onto B2 from B1, and it absolutely paid off through the night. This was the first one between us, and then Rob's got one as well. This one weighs in at around 18 pounds. We just weighed it with a sling, 22, took 4 off roughly, so scrape a 20 almost. Seagulls are back. As you can see, really nice carp, both sides. Right, let's get it back in, get some stills done. You're just making the most of it?
Yeah, just milking it. For the camera, that's it. Again, that was a screaming bite, wasn't it?
Yeah. And you've only just redone it, what, half an hour ago? Hour ago?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I hope you're getting wet.
I do too. It's not a massive one to beat, is it?
Yeah, but they don't look it in the water, mine doesn't.
Yeah, true.
So we've just had a look at mine. Rob's just going to get his out now.
It's going to batter me.
Yeah, they've been well rested. We caught them just before first light, so we thought we'd sling them so we can get some better pictures of them. A little bit of behind the scenes. Had to move all the rods away so we can get a decent backdrop. There's mine. There's Rob's. As we mentioned, we're under the stars because we couldn't be bothered putting bivvies up. And we know it was never going to rain. So just as Rob's sorting this fish out, having a look at it.
Oh mate, look at this.
Oh yeah, they're nice them. Beauty. So we're looking at that fish, we pan round onto the lake, we hear the blowtorch, and we've got a hot air balloon going over the lake. Pretty cool, that's something you don't see every day.
So this one come over the right hand rod over a spot that we found yesterday, just short of the weed, nice clear spot, over plenty of bait with a hatch pop up. What do you reckon it weighed? 25?
25.2 in the sling, so maybe 22, 23.
Yeah, we'll take the sling off after and check it. But yeah, banging caught.
Let's get it back. Lovely. And we'll release her. Come on, mate. hoping you'll understand. Well, Rob's just making breakfast and I was sat there like, just one more opportunity would be perfect. And as I said that, the bobbing went, and this is what we've been rewarded with. We didn't bother weighing it. It's smaller than the biggest one I've had. But yeah, lovely looking mirror. So that's 3 for me so far, and that 1 tench. All these are coming, so we've spotted bait out over a spot, but they'll fall into a PVA bag with an 8mm white Northern Special pop-up on there. So yeah, white's been doing the business. Caught all 3 carp. A pink one caught the tench. So yeah, Northern Specials, white ones. Let's get some stills and we'll get it back. Yeah, I'm getting wet. Oh mate, this is yellow. So if this session couldn't get any better, as I said before, could be a new PB, and it is 25.5 pound. Not massive by all means, but still a PB, and a beauty she is. Let's have a look. Hopefully she's not beating me up, that is. I'll have a look at it. See if she's going to behave.
Yeah.
Solid bag again. However, this time yellow 8mm pop up Northern Special, so it's a little bit different, which has landed the bigger fish. But yeah, 4 fish of the session, and we've still got 1 rod in the water for probably another half an hour or so till we've done taking pictures, and probably getting a bucket for this one. So yeah, get some stills now, get in the water, get a bucket, send it on its way.
On the boy.
Ali shotgun.
Ali shotgun for us. What do you want on landscape, yeah?
Yeah. Good mate, look at that. I bet they're sick, aren't they? They look good. Here goes the bucket. Yeah, we've got the stills now. Rob's gonna kindly, I've asked him to give me a bucket. He didn't really want to do it at first, as you can imagine. So now he's filling 2 up. Just in case.
Because you asked nicely. Well done, mate.
Yes, PB 25.5. Woo! Give me another one. What a way to end the session. Let's get it back. Get in. We started slow, then made the decision to move from B1 over to B2 and got as close to the fish as possible, which resulted in us catching a few. Even though my personal best was only low 20s at that time, I was absolutely buzzing with a new UK PB. And even better to share it with a good friend Rob, and he absolutely took it to another level with those stills that he got for me, so thanks again Rob, you're always smashing the stills, eh? Let's turn our attention back to the club campaign, where I started to see more and more catfish being caught on social media, and I've never caught a catfish, but I really wanted to. That was one of my targets for the year, and I only managed a 48-hour session in August. What a beast of a session it turned out to be. I've just got the kit down here. I'm on the back lake. Oh, stuff falling off the barrow. Did book it a swim. However, Nick's coming down tomorrow, so hopefully I've got us the double swim where I normally go anyway, on the back lake. So hopefully that's still free when he comes, and I'm going to fish the lilies that are in front of me. So yeah, as you can see, quite a fairly big lily bed in the middle. I'm using the boat because I haven't got any distance sticks at the minute. I'm going to put one there and put one there, see a few rings showing on both spots. So yeah, all is good. Let's get the rod set up and get them out. Good morning. It's about 7 o'clock, and as you can hear, it's absolutely chucking it down. Not bad on the fishing front, however, I lost 2 which were more than likely carp or catfish. Landed 5 bream and a big fat tench as well. So on the fishing front, not too bad, but could be better. This cold front, I think before it started raining anyway, I lost one in the rain. So yeah, fingers crossed we can hopefully get a couple on the bank. I'm not too sure what's happening. The last one was a hook pull, the first one was a clean break, but I am fishing up to snags, so that might be it. So yeah, we just have to wait and see what happens. Well, after a little change to the Illusion D-rig after using the blowback rig, and just telling myself just to play it a little bit easier, we've managed to get one in the net. Let's have a look at it. Lovely. Gonna get it out, give it a quick weigh. Hey up, chum. Make sure you like and subscribe. Well, after losing 3, catching 5 bream and a tench, finally managed to get one in the net. This little lovely mirror at £22. I just took a little bit of advice from myself and just played it really slow. You know, applied steady pressure to get it out of the lilies, and then just really cautious playing it, and it's paid off. Quick change of rig. New bit of a talk to myself, and it's done the do for happy days. Gonna get it back, try and get some more. Still early days yet. I'm currently sat at battle stations, legs in the waders, ready to go. Still raining, however it's eased up slightly now. There's some fish showing out there along where that tube is out of the water. They keep knocking into it. So that would be classed as my water-ish, but I don't see the need to fish that far out. I'm just asking for trouble with them lilies right there and the island, and then the potential for it to wrap itself around the pole. Just asking for trouble, so I'm going to stay away. After waiting, I have finally just landed a catfish. It's a bit of a weird bite, but the lead, so it ejected the lead. However, I'm just trying to set this net up. Sorry, set my unhooking mat up. So it ejected the lead, and it was like a really gingerly bite, just trickled off, and I struck into it, but nice and gentle, and then made contact with it, and yeah, big ruckus out by the lily pads. Got it a little bit closer, and I was like, no, it can't be. Seeing its tail, I was like, oh my god, it's a cat. I wanted one for ages. So now there's only one more target, a 25-pound carp. If I can get this in this session, what a session that would turn out to be. And then I could move on from Stillwater and go and try it at some other club waters. But let's get a weight on this catfish, and I'm probably going to wait for my mate to come down and get some proper stills, because I've wanted one for so long. So yeah, as I mentioned before, catfish absolutely buzzing. This was one of my targets from this lake. I just wanted one catfish, and I'm not bothered how small or how big it is, but look at that, absolute beauty. First one I've ever caught. Nick's only been here about 2 hours, he's into one. all the way from the island. Logan's on the net, ready to go. Not yet, Log. Still going. Oh. Right, there we go. Into the net, and in.
Got him?
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Mate, that is a beautiful fish. Lovely. So it's quieting down quite a bit now. We've had some dinner, drank a few brews, lost a couple more fish. Honestly, I think that's, yeah, I'm on 5 losses now. So from this session, I've had 5 bream, 2 tench. That's it. I caught a tench before, so 2 tench, 1 catfish, 1 carp, and lost 5 fish. Half 5 in the morning, just been snagged in a tree. That tree, to be precise. Waders on, in there fighting it, landing it. Oh yeah. Get it slung up, ready for the morning. It's only half an hour away or so. We haven't even finished photographing the 2 that we've had. And Nick's in. We've got 1 sulking there, I've got 1 sulking. And we're into a fish. Not long since been put back out. Using the trustworthy bait boat. We've got Logan ready to go on the net. Come on, we're nearly ready, I can feel it. Nah, it's gone again. Come on. In the net. Get in. Flick that lead over, there we go. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, it's beauty. This is the one you've just seen us land. 11.2, did we say?
Yeah, £11.2.
Caught on almost like a snowman rig with an orange pot topper.
Frill wafter, orange topper.
Placed with accuracy by the bait boat. We've been trying for so long to catch some fish together, and finally we've got 2 on the bank. Logan's here, witnessed it, took some stills of it, and yeah, what an absolute belter of a session. How many have we had now between us? 5 or 6?
Five carp between us.
A cat, loads of bream, some tench. Yeah, what an absolute really, really good session. I'm going to slip these back, still time for some more. Nice. What a great memory to have with great company. That's what fishing is all about. Logan was so helpful landing the fish and taking the pictures for us. I hope to see him on the bank again sometime this year. September sees probably the best session of the whole campaign between Nick and I, which just confirmed what we already knew by this stage, and that was regarding the bait application and where the fish are likely to be. So let's go ahead and have a look at that. Hi guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're back out on the club campaign on the back lake. However, we're on the opposite side this time. I think we're on peg 6. We're normally on like 16, and we've been here a few hours now. It was a little bit hectic. Nick got his rods out by the lilies, and he had one instantly, let's say within an hour. So we've did a bit of filming of that. I then got my rods out, we set up camp and just had a quick brew, and now here I am. So yeah, I'll show you Nick's fish, and we'll carry on going. Don't worry about my lines.
No, mate, I do.
I'll slacker mine right off.
Could be a cat that way.
You reckon? Is it hugging low?
Staying low.
I couldn't believe that.
Mate, I thought that was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just pulled up and then it kited off, didn't it?
Yeah. One little bleep, and then the indicator was just going up like very slightly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's a spider there.
Don't worry about the spider, mate. Look at that big catfish.
Yeah, got it.
Nice. Did you drop the lead?
No, didn't drop the lead. Still got the rig, still got the lead.
Everything.
I'll have to change the rig, to be fair. Or the slime.
That's horrible, mate.
So the rods have been in for just under an hour now. This 11 pound 2 ounce cat was the first one to bite the dust, just under an hour, which is an absolutely great result. Caught on Illusion D, about 10 inches again, like I did before, with a krill wafter, but this time with a yellow pop-up fake bit of corn, so it's like critically balanced.
Nick's into his second fish. Again, really finicky bite, would you say? Yeah.
Yeah,
It just
really finicky. It's like, well, that one seemed like it started coming towards us, because I was coming towards me, so I was reeling into it. One bleep on the rod, the indicator went up, the line went tight, and then we looked down the line towards the water, and it was like it came up to the surface again, didn't it? Cool. So catfish number 2, 17.8. Caught from the same spot, same rig, same tactic. This cat is literally just shitting krill all over the mat as well. So yeah, really happy to catch number 2. So I'll catch these all day long, to be fair, but as long as I get a carp eventually. But yeah, 17.5, really happy with that.
Well, there you have it. First one off my spotting out in open water. Left hand rod. It's not done a single beep since we've been here. Rods have been out maybe 3 hours now, and it's just absolutely melted off. Pick up, then a massive drop back, struck into it, knocked the pod over. But yeah, blessed to have been graced by this. Weighing in at 11 pound on the nose, was it? So yeah, that's a PB, 11 pound on the nose. PB catfish. Get in. So this is the second or third attempt at trying to cook. I had one before, and now Nick's into another one. Same rod, right hand rod, exactly the same tactic. It's doing the business for him. Just thought I'd jump on and give you a quick update going into the night. It's about 9:45 now. We've just been watching football. I've just had a bream, and Nick's just putting his rod out because he's caught a carp. So yeah, once that rod's back out, we'll get it out, weigh it, we'll have a look at it. If you don't hear from us after that, we'll assume that nothing's happened during the night, and we'll probably see you in the morning. But hopefully we get a few wake up calls during the night, and we've got some fish on the bank. Let's have a look at that one.
First carp of the night. Just had a good, well, kind of a breamy kind of bite. Nice.
1 o'clock in the morning, this rod's been back out 5 minutes. Just landed 32.6, was it?
32.6.
32.6. PV cat. Absolute beast. Let's get some stills.
What do you mean? So like straight, yeah. That'll do.
Oh mate, that's beautiful.
That's class. Next one.
Well, what can we say? We've been having liners all night. 2 bream, then rod back out. Half an hour later, this one. Rod back out. 10 minutes later, that catfish that I've just showed you. This one doesn't want to play a game. But yeah, this one weighs 17, 14 was it?
Yeah.
Can't quite remember. I think it was 17.
Yeah, it was.
Try the other side of it before we get it back. Yeah, 17, 14, beautiful mirror. Exactly the same tactics. Pacific tuna topped with fake sweet corn. It's caught every single fish so far during this session. What a session it's turned out to be. We've still got about 10 hours left. The night's still young. Let's get it back. Where are you going? That must have been an angry male, that. Good morning. Little morning update just before I put a brew on. It's nearly 8 o'clock. Had a bit of a lie-in. Nick's been up. He's had a brew and that. Caught a catfish. He's had a bream. But yeah, through the night after that big catfish, I put my rods back out. And it had an almighty run, but it was absolutely chucking it down. And as I'd got out, put some shorts on, grabbed my coat, got to the rod, it stopped, and then yeah, kind of missed that one, which wasn't great, which has actually annoyed me, even though we've caught a carp, caught a couple of catfish. But yeah, that one's annoyed me. Well guys, part 2 of September. You join us back in our local spot. Nick's here, quick overnighter. Peg 16 and 15 on the back lake. Rods are already out, as we was dying to get set up. So rods are already out. Nick's put a brew on. He's also had a few liners, and I thought it can't happen 2 times in a row, off to an absolute flying start. But yeah, rods are in, set up, SFing it tonight. Hopefully it pays off and we can get some fish on the bank. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Buggers in again. Think it could be a cat. We'll wait and see.
So first carp, 22 pound on the nose, Illusion D again with the krill and the yellow topper. Literally keep doing the business. A handful of chopped krill, which has been soaked in the cloudy krill mix with a little bit of hemp. And this time I've added a little bit of Himalayan rock salt to the mix. Don't know if that's made the difference on this one, but yeah, absolute right result. Really happy with this one.
The old warrior goes back. Oh, bit of a dilemma. It's only slack because Nick's over there, but Nick hooked into a fish, took him around the back of that dot island and then snagged up. So he's waded out through the shallows to try and essentially free the fish if it's still on. But yeah, I don't think it is. But that's what he's doing at the minute. So I don't think there's a fish on the end, which we're using the barbless hooks, so you know it's quite easy for them to unhook themselves, so to speak. There you go. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Safe to say that was an awesome session from a fresh swim, totally unexpected. Anytime me and Nick fish, we say, look, if we get one between us, that's a result. You know, we have a little social, have some food, so our only target is to just try and catch one fish between us. And then we had another session back on our chosen swim, which Nick smashed again. Coming into October, we had chosen a different venue to target for winter. This was another club water, Titchfield Farm Pond. Very small, maybe 1 to 2 acres, but the stock is relatively unknown, but rumoured to hold some koi and ornamental fish up to 30, 32 pound. I think what I've seen myself is 28 pound. So yeah, that would have been really, really nice to catch from them. Apart from the angling, I like to edit my own stuff, and I brought myself a drone, which some of you might have already seen in some of the more recent videos on the channel. That being said, I bought the drone to hopefully take the content and the videos up to the next level. So here it is in action. Now you want to tip it towards your line. Towards the line? Yeah. Or whatever. So yeah, so you're right now. That way you're right. That's my left, isn't it? Yeah, is the line on your left? Yeah, that's it, your left. Did you feel you might have felt a drop?
Fairly deep there.
Yeah. Sorted, man. The first session down here on the winter campaign, the quest for a 30 koi. Pretty quiet, to be fair. We've been fishing now, I'd say I've been fishing for 4 hours, not even had a single bleep. There's been maybe 1 show, 1 or 2 shows, but nothing much. Or should I say, not enough to get you going and get you looking to pack up. So I think I'm just going to hang fast. As you've seen, I used a baiting pole to put the bait out. I think maybe just scatter a couple of freebies around again as well, just to try and draw that attention in. But yeah, optimistic going into the first night. We'll see what comes of it. We've had our brews, we've scoffed up, and now we just sit tight.
Caught on the orange topped. What is it?
Illusion D.
Illusion D.
Krill laughter with an orange topper.
It just doesn't change. It's the same tactic and it still works. So there you go.
Rig's a little battered.
But yeah, what looked like a little bream bite turned out to be 13.4. Did we say, Nick?
Yeah, 13.4.
13.4. Happy days. Beauty. Good start. It's only 10 o'clock at night as well. Still plenty of time.
That was pretty cool to see a release here, isn't it?
Yeah. Can't really do anything with this because of the pads.
Yeah. You just got to try and plonk it in. Yeah, you got it. Get in there.
So, not the biggest fish in the lake. At £9, ghosty common. 2 hours after Nick had caught one, so that's one each now. Just gone midnight. Caught on the exact same tactics. Pacific tuna topped with fake sweet corn, and the difference in the water temperature is unreal. It's absolutely freezing. So what an absolute result for me and Nick tonight on the first session. Unbelievable. Let's get it back.
"5 o'clock wake up call, right hand rod again, in the little channel between the two little lily beds. Krill wafter with an orange topper. It's one of the Corda fake pop-up corn toppers. Zingy, I think it's a zingy flavour. It's done me quite a few fish now, that one has. Back at Stillwater and now here, so yeah, really pleased with this one. Absolutely ripped off as well. And thank you, Carp, for helping me land it. Just under £10 as well, but I'll take these fish all day long. Yeah, proper nice little common carp it is.
Sweet. First swig of a brew in the morning, can't beat it. That last night went way better than I expected, although the fish were very small. As I mentioned, the stock in here isn't really known to the club, so just to get a bite is really good. Nick's gone home now. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Nick had two, as you'd seen, and I had one. Two of those at £9–10 and the other one at 13 and a half, I think. So yeah, pretty good night and a very good first start.
That's such a beautiful little farm pond, and I will definitely be going back for one-off sessions, day sessions throughout the year. Carp fishing then started to slow up as life and work got a little bit busier. However, I turned my attention to lure fishing. You know, the odd hour, 2 hours here and there. I was able to get down to a local park lake of mine, which is ideal for an afternoon's bit of fishing. That was basically to scratch my fishing itch. Probably the same as yous. I get a little bit restless if I've not been out on the bank. I kind of need it as my little zone out. All I need to do is where should I put my rods? That's it. I don't need to think about work, life, my kids, anything like that. I don't need to think about anything. So sometimes you just need to go out, get a rod in the water, and you'll feel a lot better. Which I'm sure you'll all agree on. However, time to see what was lurking in the park lake.
Good morning. Welcome back. So this is my very first pike session of the year. Got my little rod not set up yet. However, just got to the lake and the water levels are extremely low. I've never seen it this low. It probably hasn't recovered, or it's part of like a couple of lakes. So maybe if we walk around, the water's held in one of the lakes because that's like a boating lake, and this one isn't really anything. So we'll see what happens on a little walk around it, whether it's actually worth fishing because it is really shallow. If we can find some deeper spots, or even if we see some fish, it might be worth having a little try for them. But yeah, until then, we'll just carry on.
Peggy? Yeah, I just had one on. Little Jackie.
I knew changing over to this lure would do good, hopefully. So yeah, we had one take. Sadly it came off, but at least we know there's fish. Even in the water so shallow, we still know there's fish. So yeah, let's try and carry on. Yeah, try and actually land one.
Morning.
Have you had success?
Yeah, I've just had a real big fish out.
Yeah, what did you get?
Pike. Yeah, so he's got a jack pike there. And then I've just had this thing out. We didn't expect that. We were expecting the small ones like he's got here.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Oh, boy.
So it's made the trip worth it, even though it's going to rain. We've got players here.
Years ago, I had a friend and I used to go fishing with them, and I always had more success when it was raining.
Yeah.
Just a bit of an update. As you would have seen, Cleggie's had that monster out of here, and I had a little Jackie. Unhooked it, went to pick it up for a quick snap, and it wriggled off out my hand. So yeah, we've had two between us, and I've lost another one. So It's going well so far, so good. We're just about to start making our second loop around the lake now. We're in the shallowest bit, probably the weediest bit. So yeah, chucked a lure in there. Not much action, so we're just going to carry on, hope for the best. And the weather's still on our side slightly, little bits and bobs of showers, but yeah, we're still good and still enjoying it. Let's carry on.
I couldn't believe my eyes when Ross caught that hidden monster. I visit this lake often, and to try and catch something like that, I've only ever caught little jackies out of there, but still better than a blank. Nearly there now. In the month of November, we fished the Intercore Carp Championships, or the ICCCs, at Linear. As a team, we managed a respectable third overall. However, myself and Rob did a little bit better. We came second in our section. Myself, I came 6th out of 66 anglers, narrowly missing out on a spot on the army team, I think maybe by about £8. I missed out on the spot, which was a shame. And to get a spot on the army team for the coming season, I was gutted to say the least. However, as my very first competitive season of angling, I thought I'd done really well. I think I had scraped to get onto the ICCs, and then, I went there. We used their knowledge, watercraft, and we absolutely smashed it. It was just unreal. The next outing was the start of the 2023 season. So we start our season before the end of the year. So we have an army qualifying event, which we call QE1, so qualifying event 1, and that is to go and fish one of the army championship matches so you get the chance to go onto the team if you do well there. This was held at River Farm Fisheries. Now that I've been there a couple of times, you might have seen some of the videos on there. However, I've only ever blanked there. But the good thing for me, I knew what worked there. I knew some of the hot pegs. So when I actually got there, I had a little bit of an advantage, which played dividends.
So here we are, QE1 season 22-23 down at River Farm Fisheries. We've just set the pegs out now, so we've gone for exactly the same layout, 1 through to 14, exactly how they are set up for the fishery, because we're expecting 14 anglers. You can only fish to the halfway point, so it's going to be a little bit tricky for the people that get these pegs in the shallows. You've got about 5.5 wraps. So yeah, we've set up. We're going to do the walk around shortly, then we'll go into the draw, followed by a bit of setting up for an hour or so, and then it'll be rods in 10 o'clock, and hopefully first fish 10 past. We'll see. I came out around halfway through the draw and managed to get peg 6, so not quite where I wanted to be, but it was high up on my list. So yeah, peg 6. I got a little tree just in front of me, which I'll show you shortly, and I got about 13.5 wraps of water out in front of me as well, so that's all good. Set up now because it was a little bit raining, so I didn't really film that much, but yeah, third time lucky on this venue for me personally, so hopefully I can redeem myself. Kind of content and you want to see more, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more Carpy adventures. Well, I've just cracked off, so I wrapped my rod up, 13 wraps, sorted the rig out, and I'll tell you about the rig in a minute. Sorted all that out. A few of the other lads watching on the other side of the bank go to cast out straight away. I only looked down and realised I hadn't flicked the bail arm over. So it's 110% my fault. It is what it is. However, I have gone on, everyone's fishing on the bottom, I think. So I've gone on a little 3-foot zig, you know, seeing if that can get winkler fish out so early on. I've gone with oh, what is it? Carp Freaks Pink Pop-Up. Smell really fruity, so it should be good for this time of year. So yeah, we'll give it a little try. Little pop-up, whittled down slightly. Oh yeah, come on. Absolute beauty of a common. 23 pound on the dot. Out there on a pink topped Pacific tuna actually. Yeah, left it out in the middle most of the day, getting liners, and then all of a sudden ripped off. Absolutely buzzing. It's only 10 to 9 as well, so plenty of time to get some more. Come on, let's put it back. There we go, exactly 1 hour later, another fish, 23.5 pound, exactly the same method. I'll show you the rig and the hook baits I'm using. Hopefully it carries on through the night. I don't mind having a sleepless night. Let's get it back. Good morning. As you can see, nothing really happened for me through the night other than them two up to about 10 o'clock. The odd bleep on the rod here and there. So we think that might be a feeding window down here in the deeper water. They've been between 8 and 10 o'clock at night, so fingers crossed we can get a few more out tonight. We're not even halfway through the match yet, so that's good. Lee next door to me had a fish at 29.12. Ollie across from me this morning has had one at 27 and a few ounces, I'm not sure. And then Lee also missed one this morning, so the bite time windows, as they normally are, it's just finding out the timings. So probably from about 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning, then 8 o'clock-ish to about 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, gonna finish my cup of tea, but get some food on. I'm currently sat in first place with 46.5 pounds of fish, so hopefully get a couple more tonight and just put me just out of reach and get a bag of win just before Christmas. That'd be nice. Well, as I said, you'd only see me if I caught something else. However, I obviously didn't catch anything else. And I'm home now. I've aired the bivvy out, sorted some stuff out. And yeah, just thought I'd let you all know that I ended up winning the session, or should I say the qualifying event, so that's good. So that was an army qualifier, so that qualifies me now to fish in the army match towards it. I think it's like at the end of the season. Have a chance of becoming top rod and another shot at getting into the army team, which I just missed out on the last match that I did. So fingers crossed, I can have a good season, stay consistent and get in that army team. Let's see what.
My first win in the bag. I felt like I deserved it, coming off the back of the ICCCs and the form that I was in at that time. You know, there's a lot of fishing condensed into a couple of months, so confidence was high, and we was just, you know, the momentum, we just carried on. So I felt like I deserved the win. And as you know, confidence plays a huge part in match fishing and fishing in general. So when you're on the momentum, you just got to keep fueling it. However, my best takeaway from the win is the fact that I've got a spot on the army match that I just mentioned at the end of the season, where if I do well, I'll get a shot at being part of the army team for the following year. They fish against national teams, whether that's not France, I don't know why that just popped up, but whether that's, you know, England, Scotland, Wales, female, males, any European international teams. They've got a whole diary of dates lined up, so you know the experience just to make it to that team and go and fish alongside some of these pros would just be unreal. Finally, December and the run up to Christmas. I only managed to get back out for one 40-hour session, which was made better by Nick Meat making an appearance on the second night. I decided to go to a club water I'd never fished before. Stupid, I know, because it was just after the ice, the big freeze, and all the lakes were frozen. But on the second night, we went down to Todber Manor and fished Little Hares, and as usual, Nick turns up, smashes it. Let's have a look.
Good morning. It's the 21st of December, about 8:45 in the morning, locked and loaded, ready to go on a new club water for 48 hours. Let's get into it. As you can see, it's a quite a big complex, and it's completely dead. There's not a single car in the car park. There was a guy at the gate when I pulled up. He lost his key. It looks like he's going to go and do a bit of match fishing. So yeah, gonna have a good walk around now while I've got the time. I don't feel any pressure to just like get in a swim, and we'll see what happens. Got the bucket, so I can bucket a swim if I see one. Carry on walking around, and we'll go from there. Hopefully. See some fish showing or some signs of fish and drop straight onto them. Let's see what we can do. It's time to unpack and get to the swim. Have a little let around. And I'll touch base with you once I've set up so you can know exactly what I know really. The sun's just about to go down. It's about 4 o'clock now, so I've probably got another half hour of light. I'm not going to change anything going into tonight. Like I say, it's my first time on the water, so I'm just going to leave it out there, see if there's any bite time window, i.e. going into the night or early morning. So yeah, the rigs are going to stay out there, and hopefully see what happens going into tonight, and have a little snack, chill out, maybe watch some YouTube, and then go on to and just sit tight for the night. Try and get an early night just in case it does kick off. But I mean, as you can see, it's been pretty motionless. I've had a couple of beeps on each rod, nothing crazy, literally just a single bleep, and I think my alarm's on the max sensitivity. So yeah, all still to come, fingers crossed. I lied. I decided to change my left-hand rod, the one with the pop-up topped with maggots, and the reason because the maggots had been sat out there for maybe 4, maybe even 5 hours. So yeah, just thought I'd give them a little change, spruce it up, and no, I'm definitely leaving them unless anything happens for the night. So yeah, fingers crossed. Time to get some food on, I think. The obvious burgers. Every single meal I cook, burgers, noodles, pot noodle, whatever it might be, so nice and easy. So yeah, we've got burgers for dinner, and in the morning we've got bacon as well, so yeah, this is gonna be good. If anything happens through the night, you'll be sure to see me. If not, I'll see you guys in the morning. I've been on the phone with Nick, been in contact with him. and he was meant to come here and meet me. However, we've decided we're going to go to Todler Manor. Not sure which lake yet. We're just going to rock up because there's plenty of space. Go and speak to him, and then hopefully just buy the ticket there and then. Yeah, I mean, you can do it online whenever you want and guarantee you a peg, well, a swim on the lake. But yeah, we're just going to head down there because we just want some fish. So we want to pretty much drop onto whichever's catching, really. So yeah, I'm going to drink my brew and then start packing up. Well, after probably 2 hour drive, I'm here at Todler Manor. I'm just quickly walking around Big A's, and then Nick should be here. We'll probably have a little walk around Little A's, maybe get the drone out, have a little fly around and see where we're going to fish. Yeah, the wind is hacking down into the corner on Big A's, so that's potential for us to fish here. But we'll see. Not seen any fish yet. And I don't think we will, just because, again, it's December. Why would you? Yeah, I just checked then. It's a nice southwesterly wind at about 13 miles an hour. Yeah, as you can see, I wouldn't say hacking, but it's definitely blowing down into this corner. And I've never fished Big A's before, so it could be likely, just off this hunch alone, we fish, you know, up against those reeds. Maybe that's got good potential. But yeah, we'll keep having a look around and see what else we can find. Yeah, I think it was. So we've just dropped onto Little Haze as we put the move in. We're both sharing one peg, and got my rods out and Nick's rods out there. We set up now, and we've had, I would say, probably 3 or 4 liners. What do you reckon, Nick? 5 liners. One was a potential take. It started to take line, but struck into nothing. It could have been a trailer, could have just been a savage liner. We don't know. But yeah, all's looking good, looking promising. And now we're just going to get a beer out and have a bit of a social, really. That's it. So yeah, if anything happens, you'll see us. If not, probably see you in the morning. Yes, Nick. We've literally just been looking at his bobbin. Wasn't really going anywhere. It pulled up tight, but not to the alarm. And look, struck into it. He's like, yeah, I'm striking into this, and he's into one. He kited straight off. Woo-hoo! Go on, babe. Why do you need to? And where's the next swim hole, mate? There's that massive tree in the way. I haven't got my waders either. We'll be able to land it there, because I'll be able to go in these. Yeah, can I go in there?
No, I've got more technique.
I mean, I can get my. I've got my other wellies in the car. If it's safe to do that, I'll go and get my wellies. So then you can just play it and I'll net it. Right, I'll just... That's the bears. Yeah, pretty much bang on what we said. It's 14.4. Yeah, I'd give you 14.4 for that.
I'll take that, mate, definitely.
By the time I'd run to the car and got my wellies, he'd landed it. If you want to, mate, yeah. That beauty. What did you catch that on then?
So that was a solid bag. DNA bites the bug, pellets, and a white milky ball after.
Doing the business.
Doing the business.
Nice.
Good switch to DNA.
Yeah, even in the winter.
Even in the winter, yeah.
Right, let's get some stills. Good.
Thanks, mate.
No problem. Nick's in again. Nice, it's only just gone 10 o'clock as well. Same tactic, doing it. We'll get some stills straight away. This one, what did you say?
16-12.
Whoa, it's getting you wet now. 16-12. Let's get some stills of it. He's in again. This time for Gorsey, look at that. What are we saying, 16 on the nose?
£16 on the nose, yeah.
Same method, that right hand rod, still doing it for him. Look at that, oh, for a fish. Oh, just hold it like just up like that, look at that. Great.
Some fish that, isn't it?
Yeah,
The pattern's on it.
that's incredible. It's not having none of that, is it?
We've got some good photos in there, haven't we?
Yeah. Look at that in the water as well. God, you can't even see it. Nicholas is in again. It's like your fourth fish, isn't it? Fourth fish, first common. Same rod, same tactics. Look at that.
£16 on the nose again.
Come on, look at that. It's a beauty, that one. Let's get some stills of it. Good morning, guys. As I sit here now, Nick's caught 6 fish. Pardon? Yeah. Nick's had 6 fish during the night. I've had nothing. Perfect. He's even been battling through the rain, wind, everything. Well deserved. He was definitely on the fish last night. Yeah, it was just one of them. I had 3 bases covered. I just couldn't even nick one. Loads of liners. Even moved a rod into the margin to give that a try. Nothing. It's about 7:45 now. I'm gonna get a brew on, start packing away, and get myself home ready for Christmas. Still time.
Well done, Nick. On your last session for quite some time now due to work commitments, so well done. I hope you do watch this, and I hope you see that. Thank you. Well, there you have it. A look back across the year of taking angling seriously for the first time. I had a list of goals, not just fishing, but also trying to build a social media base along with this YouTube channel. We've had some lows, but we've mainly had highs throughout the year. This year has undoubtedly been the best angling of my career, let's say, by a country mile, or my angling journey by a country mile. And honestly, I think it's all down to those decisions I made at the start of the year, sticking to one bait, one lake, and just having a couple of rigs. Once you've puzzled that piece together and cracked it, it's just rinse and repeat rinse and repeat in different pegs. As you'd seen, we'd caught fish from probably 3 or 4 different pegs on the lake, so it worked. For those of you that get the chance to do some match fishing, I strongly recommend it. There's no way I would have fished any of those lakes up north if it wasn't for the matches that I was doing. Also, that work were funding it. It was just too far. To go and do a 40-hour session, you're talking a 5-hour drive, fuel, the ticket, bait, whatever it might be, just isn't feasible when we live down south and there's so many great lakes. So yeah, if you want to get involved, then drop me a message, Instagram, YouTube, comment here if you're part of the Armoured Corps, and we'll get you in touch and we'll get you fishing. I do want to touch on a few personal achievements and real high points in the year whilst I've been reflecting throughout writing these kind of notes. Firstly, and probably the pinnacle of the highlights for me, was just biting the bullet and heading to Gigantica Road Lake. Like I said, I did it on my own. I've never fished outside of England. I'd never caught on a zig. I'd never fished 3 rods on a spot. So talk about chucking yourself in at the deep end. So to do all that within the first 24 hours of being on the lake, it's just an unreal experience, and I generally can't wait to go on another European adventure. Who knows, could be Belgium on the canals, could be Lake Bled, could even be back to Gigantica, who knows. Now the UK PB. I had mixed feelings about going to linear for the first time, as I'm sure most anglers in my shoes would. You know, you hear the bad things about linear, all the rumours around the complex, you see it online, not all of it's good, but I was pleasantly surprised and really enjoyed the couple of sessions that I've had there, and I would recommend, if you want to do it, just go and do it. It's very, very simple. If you want me to do a video on how it runs, how to get there, how to operate, what you need to do when you turn up, then comment in the comments below, and I'm more than happy to talk you through that process. I didn't think we was going to catch, let alone a new PB, even though it's not the biggest. It was a beauty at 25.5 pound, plus the company to go with it. Again, Rob, cheers for the stills. Probably some of the best shots that I've got on my Instagram channel. If you don't believe me, have a look on my channel, my page. They're at the top, and I think you'd agree. So thanks again, Rob, for that. Couldn't have done it without you, to be fair. And that memory will stay with me for a long time. Then competing in 2022 season as a rookie, basically. As a whole, I've learned so much this year. I'm generally excited to compete again, mainly because the time at work. Why wouldn't I? But yeah, I have a target in mind for this season, and we'll see how it goes. I think you can probably imagine what that target is. Finally, as I've already mentioned, just the general knowledge I've gained from other anglers on the bank, YouTube, and constantly learning on every session. Take time to reflect, ask yourself some hard questions as to why you didn't catch. Trust me, you will thank me for that one. Finally, I'd like to take the opportunity to say thank you to you guys for watching and supporting the channel throughout the year. Without you guys engaging, all this content, the effort that goes into it just wouldn't be worth it. And I've had a fair few people message me, ask me questions, have I got tips on certain lakes that I've been, that they've seen me fishing, and I'm glad to help, and just reach out. I appreciate every single bit of engagement you guys give, whether it's just a little chat. It means so much, and I've met some amazing people along the way. You know who you are, can't really name drop them all. And I'd love to get a social together, planned at some point this year. So yeah, again, comment below if you think a social would be a good idea, just to get to know me, or you know, just to hang out really, beers, barbecue, whatever it might be. And that is it. So lastly, thank you for your support. It means a lot, and let's do it all again this year. See you later, guys. Cheers for watching.